मेरी नजर का सफर तुझ पे ही आके रुके, कहने को बाकी है क्या, कहना था जो कह चुके। मेरी निगाहें तेरी निगाहों की, तुझे खबर क्या बेखबर, मैं तुझसे ही छुप छुप कर तेरी आंखें पढ़ती हूँ। कौन तुझे यूं प्यार करेगा जैसे मैं करती हूँ।
Hi, I'm Dr. Nilima Sabarwal, founder of HOH. I welcome all of you today to our second virtual HOH event, courtesy of course, the Corona. We all are aware that when the Corona happened, the entire world went into panic and hit the pause button, but not HOH. We in fact hit the power button and got accelerated by a powerful force into the most impactful year ever. To summarize it in one sentence, I would say HOH made a powerful impact. Now HOH is powerful. No matter what calamity befalls us, we emerge powerful and more stronger than ever. And this power got enhanced during the pandemic, especially among our young people. The HOH Youth Chapter, the mission of that is to ignite compassion. Now this compassion got magnified tenfold. This magnified compassion during the pandemic crossed thousands of miles of land and ocean to connect two continents to meet with a smile. Ironically, that's the name of our two programs, Meet and Smile. You know, just think about it. Everything is shut down. The schools are shut down. The underprivileged kids in India are twiddling their thumbs. The privileged kids in the US are also twiddling their thumbs. So what do? Well, they meet through Zoom. Now MEET stands for Mentor, Educate, Empower Together. I want to also add another E, which is Enjoy Together. And that's exactly what happened. It became a win-win. Kids helping kids. Phenomenal success. I mean, we saw the success. The first day, the kids on the other side in India, they were so shy they could not even speak. They couldn't even say their name. And now they are speaking confidently in English and giving speeches. It's become a movement. We have 10-year-olds teaching because, you know, in our youth chapter, age is no bar. All I can say is, all of you parents, all of you want your children to grow up to become well-rounded, grounded, compassionate young adults, because compassion is a hotbed for creativity. So join our HOH movement, start them young and see the transformation. As you know, India was gasping for oxygen. So HOH pivoted into action, partnered with our sister organization in India called HOH Foundation to create the COVID warrior team. Our leaders are Bhumi Padnekar, famous actress, and our HOH millennials, Tanya Bhavnani and Shivani Sharma. Now this COVID warrior team was in India, was able to boycott all blocking bureaucracies and make things happen because they were on the ground, hands-on. Actually, you know what? They created this underground covert operation with this amazing connections and were able to deliver oxygen tanks, medicines, even find beds in hospital and save lives at the nick of time. And also our HOH millennial team flooded the social media to do fundraisers. So continuing with the partnerships, we partnered with Kanpur alumni and delivered 100 oxygen concentrators. And also we partnered with Pahel and Stay Smile, and we mentored and guided them and taught them how to be a lean organization. You know, let's face it, after 21 years, nobody can be leaner than us. We have no admin staff, we have no office, it's still the trunk of my car, we have zero fringe, and we have zero, I could say we have zero overhead because all of us donate towards the whatever administrative costs there is. Another very important partnership is with the village. Even though the government provided free vaccines, they did not have a smart strategic plan to reach all the villagers. So the poor ignorant villager was just dying like flies. So what HOH did is, we partnered with Village Mijwa and funded a very smart, intelligent vaccination program that was laser focused, data centric and replicable, with a smart registration app, educational material, also hiring dedicated staff that went door to door, registering the villagers and transporting them to the vaccination sites. And every day I get an update. I'm sure there are a lot of you in the audience who are hearing me for the first time must be wondering, what is HOH? So HOH is an abbreviation of Home of Hope. And Home of Hope has one mission, and that is to empower the disadvantaged child to become a self-sustaining citizen of tomorrow. How do we do it? Well, we partner with existing struggling orphanages and schools and implement programs focusing on education and vocational training. In a span of 20 plus years, we have partnered with at least 20 projects all over India, and our programs have helped empower at least 100,000 children. We're also international. We're now partnering with California-based projects. And also, we have made a national impact in India by enabling national laws in the area of mental health and the mentally challenged through our long-standing partnership with Delhi-based project Manovikas and Udyan Care. We empowered them that they took a leadership role and lobbied with the Indian government to implement two major laws. The Disability Act law, what does that mean? Well, today the mentally challenged child that was shunned by society today has a job opportunity in every sector in India. And the juvenile justice law, what does that mean? Well, you go to every orphanage, they have a mental health program. And today, millions of orphan and destitute children are empowered. Maybe again, it's the power P, the alphabet. Powerful partnerships. You know, I cannot condense such a profound thing in this 1 minute, so I'll stop right here and come back to the present. We are here because of you. You are our present, you are our past, and you are going to be our future because you have faith in us, you have trusted us, and it is your donations that are going to be our future. So please continue to support us and let us be your future. Thank you very much.
There have actually been several moments that make me emotional. I can tell from, their expressions if they're kind of worried or something is wrong. And when I've probed them, they've said things like, they're worried about their future. We share those worries for them because we want them to have a much brighter future than what they have.
It's a burning passion inside me to ignite compassion in the youth because they are going to be our leaders of tomorrow.
So we felt the need for a youth chapter as we realized that our children needed a platform to give back to the community where they could freely come up with an idea, pick their own team, basically having like a startup, and from conception to execution that they were completely in control.
But say it slowly.
We all use social media.
That's why I came up with the idea of MEET, Mentor, Educate, Empower Together.
Abhyudaya Ashram and this opportunity that came to us from Bhumi Pednekar was just perfect timing during COVID.
The idea was to find a sustainable solution to the problem, to be able to create opportunities for them that wouldn't exist otherwise, and that's where our callings matched. I feel blessed to join this great community, the HOH family that has embraced me with such love.
Our kids here were not really going to school. This gave them more meaning. It gave them a purpose.
Smile special needs in a loving environment. We just want to make these children smile.
My main goal was to ensure that all these students get the opportunity to grow and develop in public speaking.
Conversational English is a very difficult language to learn, and it's not something you can learn from a textbook, which is where I come into play. Speaking with a native speaker seems to really help them understand the language.
Very good.
मुझे इंग्लिश इसलिए पसंद है, मुझे बोलना अच्छा लगता है इंग्लिश में और दूसरों से बात करना.
My favorite teacher is Arya. मुझे आर्या इसलिए पसंद कि वो हम लोगों की एज की है और हम लोगों को समझ पाती है.
I want to become a bank PO because I want to help in my Abhyudaya Ashram, and I want to make my sister's life better and my life also.
I currently am working very closely with HOH's partners, and I'm amazed at the integrity, honesty, purity and dedication each member has. The kids are constantly anyway so excited about these classes, and I keep getting like an update from them, but actually seeing it live and actually seeing like where they've reached is it feels good.
It'll be very heartwarming to see these youth chapter children as tomorrow's successful entrepreneurs and leaders and taking home of hope to new heights.
It's going to change how they think, what kind of social impact they can bring into this world.
During the pandemic, we leveraged our skills and relationships with our partner projects to reduce the impact of COVID-19 on our beneficiaries as well as the community. The millennials within our HOH family initiated the HOH Warrior campaign. Along with their peers, they raised over $50,000 for HOH Foundation India and Bhumi Pednekar's COVID Warrior movement.
In the next 5-10 years, that I'll be working for the youth chapter. They're going to be my boss. I'm going to ask them, hey, what to do, because they're on the pulse with everything that's happening.
During every class, I feel as if we are one big family.
I adore these kids. Sunday nights are the highlight of my week, and our relationship is like older sister and younger sibling, where we have a lot of fun together and they trust me, but they also respect me enough to learn.
Every single moment is truly wonderful and changes me as a person, and I hope I impact these children and bring a smile to their face.
And we need your support to make sure that HOH grows and provides more platforms to children like me to teach these students in India and give them a future that maybe they don't have right now, but this can change with your help.
So here I am, sending my HOH family a big hug all the way from Mumbai. Thank you for all your amazing work. Thank you for inspiring me. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for loving me and being such great partners to my cause.
What we are seeking is your sticky hearts. Connect with the cause. You will be surprised at your own creativity and what you can do.
The greatness of a man is not in how much wealth he acquires, but in his integrity and his ability to affect those around him positively, said by Bob Marley. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Neelam Bhavnani and I volunteer as President of Home of Hope. Today, I would like your support in our mission to save and uplift lives. Believe me, it doesn't get better than knowing that with your generosity, you made a difference by putting a smile on a scared child's face, replacing tears of sorrows with rays of hope for survival. For the last 2 years, the COVID-19 pandemic has taken our lives by storm. Along with COVID warriors of all kinds, HOH partners, volunteers, and you, our donors, have responded generously so that our beneficiaries are safe, fed, and able to pursue their education. It gives me immense pride to report that our 10th and 12th graders, through unimaginable adversities, have all cleared their board exams, and many with distinction. Our very own millennials, with their heartfelt compassion, initiated the HOH Warrior Movement. They campaigned and appealed to their peers to join them. It was a proud moment for HOH when the generous donations came pouring in from young adults from all walks of life. The synergy to donate, evoking the giving spirit, was indeed palpable and inspiring. HOH sincerely thanks them for their contribution in providing one breath at a time to alleviate the immense suffering. The young Gen Zs, HOH Youth Chapter members, are passionately creating distance knowledge sharing programs like public speaking, book clubs, basic classical music, math and science lessons, computer coding for the advanced learners, and most heartwarming, cooking classes for blind girls, as well as companionship and assistance for seniors in their communities. The future looks bright with HOH embarking in its 3rd decade with a zeal to protect, persevere, and preserve. Protect the abandoned children. Persevere to give dignity of life to the handicapped and underprivileged. Preserve our planet for the future generations of all living beings. In 2021, HOH entered an era of expansion, broadening our outreach to include extended care and higher education for youth and adults, care for the elderly, environmental preservation, clean air and water, human traffic prevention, COVID orphans, and fulfilling the need of the hour. What we witnessed and captured in the process is an expansive picture of tenacity, humility, compassion, and empathy. In a time of social isolation for so many, the pandemic has had a counterbalancing effect of bringing the global community closer into alignment for a purpose that transcends borders and cultures. Please continue to be a part of the HOH family and support us with your heartfelt generosity as you always have. Thank you.
A bright young boy, Keshav Khanna, is inspired to teach and give hope to those who deserve it the most. Keshav has developed a passion for public speaking and has been practicing for many years. He believes in sharing his knowledge and puts in his own time and effort to spread it to the kids in Abudya Ashram.
Hello, my name is Keshav Khanna. I'm in 11th grade in high school. And I was first introduced to Homa Hope roughly 3 years ago, I would like to say, back in a gala. I was helping to volunteer and to help raise money for HOH. And from there, I learned of its miraculous feats, what it truly does to help empower these children in India. And I was inspired. Getting the opportunity to make these kids want to learn, want to be inspired, and want to fulfill their goal is a dream come true for me. Their dream and their idea of becoming a civil servant or working in the police force has been accomplished because of HOH, because of this MEET program, because of the countless students and children in America who are helping in India. So it goes without a doubt that we can see MEET program has gone a long way and has helped so many. And that's thanks to the HOH program itself and to the countless participants who are willing to sacrifice their time and effort to make sure that these kids are happy. But for me, I come to class every Monday from 9 to 10 because I get to see joy in those kids' faces. Whether it's them learning something new about debate, or it's simply learning confidence, when we tell them that they did something amazing, their smile is infectious. Every single person in the classroom is not only happy for themselves, but happy for everyone around them, because it is one big family that is affected. When I get the opportunity to work with Ritanti, Rajesh Uncle, and the countless students, it is a joy in my mind and my heart to see them grow. And that's what teaching does. It empowers these children to become something that they never thought was imaginable. From a small town to a big city, their dreams have only become bigger. Which is why teaching is something that goes without noticed. Which is why these kids in India, their hard work goes untouched. Which is why I love and enjoy every single day preparing for the next class, learning with these students, and becoming an amazing teacher and part of an amazing organization. Thank you.
बच्चा से खान माचकूर दिल में रुखसात म्यान बाय जानो बच्चा से खान माचकूर दिल में रुखसात म्यान बाय जानो बच्चा से खान माचकूर उंगली पकड़ के तूने चलना सिखाया था ना दहलीज ऊंची है ये पार करा दे बाबा मैं तेरी मलिका टुकड़ा हूँ तेरे दिल का एक बार फिर से दहलीज पार करा दे मुड़ के ना देखो दिलबरो दिलबरो मुड़ के ना देखो दिलबरो मुड़ के ना देखो दिलबरो दिलबरो मुड़ के ना देखो दिलबरो इस दर्द की भी पार करा दे। बाबा मैं तेरी मलका, टुकड़ा हूँ तेरे दिल का, एक बार फिर से दहलीज पार करा दे। उड़ के ना देखो दिलबरो, दिलबरो, उड़ के ना देखो दिलबरो, उड़ के ना देखो दिलबरो, दिलबरो, उड़ के ना देखो दिलबरो।
Shivani, it was such a pleasure to work with you on the COVID Warrior effort. Your passion to help those on the ground was infectious. What did you see in India that motivated you to continue to help when you returned to the US?
So the second wave actually hit when I was in the middle of my trip in India. And although I was fortunate enough to not have to experience the effects of it firsthand, I definitely saw it around me. I was in quarantine. I was there for my best friend's wedding. And unfortunately, her wedding got canceled, but that was such a small thing to happen in the scope of everything happening around us. And while I was there, my mom connected me to Bhumi Bidnikar, who is one of the leads of our COVID projects. Well, she introduced one of the COVID projects to Home of Hope. And she had taken on this huge effort to bring a bunch of volunteers together to help patients one-on-one individually. And I started doing that work while I was sitting there in Mumbai. And when I came back home, I found it even harder to distance myself from those groups because I was able to see the privilege that we had sitting in the US and how the people in India were being impacted. So I think that's just what motivated me to keep working once I touched ground here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tanya, well, you helped me a lot when I came back to the US. How did you get involved in the fundraising efforts?
Yeah, very similarly, I was heartbroken seeing images on the news of what was happening in the ground in India. And to your point, there felt like there was such a disparity between our safe, sheltered, socially distant lives to the stories that we were hearing of people searching for hospital beds for their loved ones and looking for ventilators. And I could think of no other organization better than HOH to partner with and connect our millennials with who felt as helpless as I did. So it was really easy to activate on social media and get the word out. HOH being an organization where I could personally guarantee that every dollar donated would go on the ground to help via volunteers like you and the rest of the COVID warriors. And so just really grateful that we were able to make that connection and also mobilize the millennial population that was really actually very excited to help and wanted a place that they could trust to channel their energies and their resources.
Definitely.
Part of what we did that I thought was really cool was work with a number of talented performers and artists, and you were able to make a lot of those connections. What was their motivation to get involved?
I mean, I think all of us, unfortunately, every single South Asian person I knew, even in the diaspora, was affected in some way. They either had their own families affected or they knew of family friends who were affected. And so I think a lot of people were just passionate about finding any small way they could help their families over there from over here. And a lot of artists found ways to channel their frustration and their despair through their art. And even just gratitude in these moments for us to be able to have the access to resources and stuff that we did, and to be able to share whatever we could with our families and our friends over there. So I think a lot of artists definitely used their art as a form of sort of either meditation or fundraising or whatever way they could in these desperate times. I have dancer friends. There were just so many different artists who were able to use their art for such helpful and beautiful ways to be able to support HOH.
It was really beautiful to see. Thank you, Shivani. Thanks for all of your volunteering, for activating the whole population of artists. Thank you. And we want to thank our donors and our partners. And to everyone watching this evening, we really can't do it without your support. If there are other millennials who want to get involved, definitely reach out to HOH. And thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kanwar.
I'm Louis Lowe.
I'm Atik Raza.
We are here to discuss our philosophy on philanthropy and why are we involved with HOH. I'll start by saying, I actually look at this more as being in Silicon Valley more as an investment. And for an investment, you have to see, is the cause right? And is the team which executing the cause the right team to do it? In HOH, we have a cause which brings people up, not only provide them shelter, but gives them the education.
With success and privilege comes great obligation. And so spoke to me about Home of Hope, and what I think is special and unique about it is the immediate impact of each dollar that's contributed to the organization. And when you spend time with the leadership and you see where the dollars are going and you see that there's really no overhead taken off the top, what's remarkable about HOH is the people involved are giving their own time and their own money.
And what attracted me to Home of Hope is that it really provided a path for the most hopeless of the lowest strata of society that quite frequently is left unheard, unseen, and many of them consist of kids who could be doctors and lawyers and teachers of tomorrow, but they are sold into slavery in many cases, little girls that are treated so poorly. So it is virtually impossible to look away. It's impossible not to do something about it. And that's why, basically I contribute to Home of Hope and try to persuade others to join the cause like you did with Louis.
Interesting thing is, when I got initially involved, I looked at it as, okay, I'm going to provide them with some seed funding and to see how it develops. And over the last few years, it has moved from C funding to A round to B round. And now instead of them asking for money, I ask them, okay, what are we going to invest in this year? And having all volunteer organization run primarily by women who are spending, their own time without, Louis, as you said, without any real compensation or anything, and they're passionate about it. And the other interesting thing is, every dollar we invest in it, because they have now a network of charities in India, that translates into multiple dollars because those charities are also getting funding from others. So once they select a cause, you can see the results of your investment quite directly. And I visited some of the centers which I funded, and it's really interesting to see, I think, as you said, these underprivileged people who would have been either sold in slavery or used as slaves or not any interesting jobs. Those kids are really passionate about growing up. I call it the full cycle of slums to success. And that's, HOH is one of the few ones who does all that cycle, provides shelter, educates them, and then helps them into getting a career. So you can actually, within few years, you can actually see the results of what you're investing in. And, that generates more passion in you to help them more.
When you get involved in any organization, you want to be successful. And what I come away with every time I visit with Home of Hope is impact that I can see, feel, and touch. And that's, for me, part of the reason I keep coming back. I would say the second thing is is the ability to be part of a team that is so special and unique. And the leadership of Home of Hope has inspired me, starting with you, Kanwar, who has always inspired me. And I think that the ability to have impact and do great things sets it apart.
So there are many charities that provide support for young kids in India. But the uniqueness of Home of Hope is that, so it's an all-volunteer organization where whatever money you contribute goes directly to the recipients. And that made a big difference, plus association with Nilma Sabharwal and Neelam and yourself. And you particularly, Kanwar, played also a role in guiding their strategy, which basically gives me the confidence that, as you correctly earlier pointed out, that the money will not be going astray, that it will be better directed, and that the results will be visible. And they are. And then I've turned around and done the same thing that you're doing. I've reached out to my friends, including Vinod Khosla, who has continuously every year increased the amount of money that he contributes.
Other thing I like about is each one of the members of HOH, they are directly involved with few of the causes we are investing in, right? So they are personally involved in working with those charities, making sure that the money is spent wisely. And we have these budgetary meetings, at least I do with them, to make sure, are we getting the return on investment? How are we measuring the impact? As we said, if I invest this, what will be the impact? And they have people involved who are more directly working with those charities, young kids, relatively young entrepreneurs, and they are also making sure that the causes are being handled properly. So that's why I'm saying the organization is designed to make sure that the investments have the right impact. And that's great. I mean, at the end of the day, the success we have had in the Valley as entrepreneurs or as lawyers, we can also see success by contributing to this cause, which really has impact on life of lots of people.
The ability to give back is something that Home of Hope offers me that I find fulfilling and inspiring.
Absolutely. It's fulfilling, it's inspiring, it is really our obligation to give back.
I'd like to thank our amazing youth chapter leads, starting from our amazing president, Pranav Kirti, Vice President Nikita Verma, our media lead, Sanjana, Smile founders, Amora and Adil Grover and Asha Durga, Aditya Mathur, Divya Mathur, Adi Taneja, Avi Taneja, Tara Subramania and Rahul Avasti. Our Smile adult volunteers, Rakhi Ramola, Pooja Mathur and Palvi. Our Meet students who have done an amazing job with the program are Soma Tumala, Andrew Chang, Sahaj Singh, Keshav Khanna, Mansa Devika, Shamsher Singh, Tripti Patel, Ruhi Burman and Arya Chadda. And adult volunteers for Meet, Harpriya Singh, Rashmi Bhargav, Lekha Mehta, Aarti Devika, Rajeshwari Singh, Neena Gupta, Uma Jain and Neelam Mandal.
ये समा है ये प्यार का, किसी के इंतजार का, दिल ना चुरा ले कहीं मेरा मौसम बहार का। ये समा है ये प्यार का, किसी के इंतजार का, दिल बसने लगे आँखों में कुछ ऐसे सपने, कोई बुलाए जैसे नैनों से अपने, नैनों से अपने। सवा सवा है दीदार का किसी